Early morning, huh?
Early morning. Oh my gosh. You gotta get me dancing or something.
Well, we'll get you engaged. We'll get you engaged.
I'll do my best.
The dancing is on you.
It wouldn't be pretty.
It wouldn't be pretty.
Maybe the rest of us will be
So I just want to check in. I just want to check in with you guys. What's the culture of your group? Do we typically start on time or a little bit after time? I don't want to.
Yes,
a little after time. Okay.
let's go on time. Change up the culture.
Change up the culture, all right? Because I don't want to come in and try to change something that people are like, why are we starting now?
We don't have our donuts.
You don't have your donuts.
Cranky people.
Well, we'll see what we can do about that.
No.
So there's fruit and
I'm in the ring.
yeah, and that's sponsored by your health plan.
Awesome. Is there really fruit?
Yeah, there's fruit and stuff right on that.
I thought he was I know. Seriously.
So, are there any preliminaries that I need to, or things I need to know? Any potentates or aristocrats that need to be identified and celebrated before we begin?
Omi likes to be singled out for things.
Yeah.
Oh, great! I just lost an important member. Thank you. So I guess we'll begin. And first of all, I want to apologize about your handout. So my printer and I were not clear about exactly how I needed this to be printed. So you can think of it as an additional exercise to get your mind going. But we will be using this handout and talking about some of the things that you find in here. So I'll start with this particular question. How many people have been in a diversity training of some sort before? Please raise your hand. Okay, I have a lot of people to fix. Because some of those things have really gone bad. And I personally, and it's so funny, as a diversity trainer, I hate diversity training. And so some of the reasons I hate it is, one is that the presenters themselves present themselves as being faultless, right? Like they don't have anything that they're working on, and they try to make the rest of us feel like we need to work on stuff, right? And so that particularly, the trainers themselves are problematic. Secondly, what typically happens when someone like me gets invited to work with you guys is because a supervisor has gone to a conference or heard a speaker and they have gotten saved. Right? You'll know more about me and why I use that language a little bit later. But they've gotten saved, and so as a new zealot, they come and they need to convert everybody else to their way of thinking and to this new knowledge that they had. And sometimes I'm just like, dude, I just want to do my job. Right? And then the third reason that I typically don't like diversity training is because what typically happens is one person messes up And instead of being brave and dealing with that one person, we all get gathered together to do this training so that that one person doesn't feel bad. And the person that we're there for doesn't even get why we're having the diversity training, all right? And so, so for those reasons, I don't particularly care for diversity training. However, I know that knowledge is important, and the only way to get knowledge is to have an experience together. And so I want you to think about today as a really fun time to sit around, eat fruits and vegetables, and get paid. All right? So if you can just let down all of those guards or preconceived notions that you may have had about what this might be about, and spend some time enjoying the opportunity to get paid to eat fruits and listen to a dude like myself. All right. So my name is Koen, and like I said before, you'll know way more about me than you probably want to know. But before we get into our presentation, I'd like to show a short video clip. As many of you know, yesterday was the anniversary of the assassination of Dr. Martin Luther King. And I find that very interesting given kind of the racial divides and all the racial strife that seems to be happening in our society, and how that is or is not living up to what his expectation was. And more importantly than just looking at that dream is also how we carry out what those next steps were. And so I want you to watch this video. I will tell you that I use, because I work with a lot of kids, I use some stuff that they use. And so there is a computer animated voice that may not necessarily be as audible as we would like, but the kids get into that stuff, you know. So, but there are subtitles, and so I want you to kind of read the subtitles, listen to the lyrics, and you should be able to get some of the important information. Has anyone ever heard of the musical artist, I guess he calls himself, T-Pain? Anyone ever heard that? He's like, yeah.
I'm on a boat.
What's that?
I'm on a boat.
You're on a boat. Okay, cool. He has this song that some of you may not necessarily know, I'm in love with a stripper. That's a quote. That's his song. It's not what I am not in love with the stripper. But that's one of his songs. And so he uses this computer animated voice, and so if you can just try to listen through some of that stuff, I think you'll get some powerful stuff. And I think I'll turn off the lights just to make sure that that things are visible. So we will get started.
Let us rise up tonight with a greater readiness. Let us stand with a greater determination. Let us move on in these powerful days. These days of challenge to make America what it ought to be. We got some difficult days ahead, but it doesn't matter what we know, because I've been to mountain top. And I've looked over, and I've seen the promised land. I may not get there with you, but I want you to know tonight that we as a people will get to the promised land. Above everything, above every man, I have seen the glory of the 1960. Students all over the South started sitting in at no drought. And I knew that as they were sitting in, they were really standing up for the best in the American dream. Taking the whole nation back to those great wells of democracy, which were done made by the founding fathers, and the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution.